Hi guys, welcome back to the Roseway channel. Today we are going to talk about our proposal story and pretty much how we got engaged in 7 months. So as we told you in the last video, we met on Facebook dating. Um, and during the dating process, um, pretty much we were dating with intent, dating with the purpose to marry. So I wasn't entertaining anybody that wasn't speaking the same language that I was. Thus, that process of elimination led me to Mr. Jared here.
So guys, like Q said, we got engaged within 7 months. We basically knew what we wanted when we met on Facebook dating. We were real intentional. We both did not want a short-term dating process. We just wanted to see how it worked, and then hopefully, get engaged and then get married. And it was fun. Dating with the intention to marry.
I met his parents pretty early on. Within a month, after that he met my parents. Both were very good experiences. Our families immediately liked each other, so that was it felt like an okay, like a check mark from God or something. Like, okay, wow, that went great. And we just the next few months we were talking on the phone a lot, hanging out a lot. Like I said, just being in each other's lives so we could actually get to know who we were trying to pursue.
It was important for us since we were, going to church early and, going on dates and stuff early to keep God at the center. That's why I chose for us to go to church for one of our early dates, is because I feel like if we want to be intentional, if we want, this to work, we have to keep God at the center, at the base, the foundation, because, you can't have a long-lasting relationship without God at the center. Like, without him or nothing. So we always gotta make sure he's included in everything. We still go to church together to this day. We have a church home and everything.
We had talked about early on that we were gonna move in together in spring of 2025. So we figured it was a good idea to go ahead and start job hunting.
So I applied, got the job, and we moved in together. We prayed on it before we moved. We made sure that we prayed. And we just want to ask God, is this the right thing? And just reveal to us, just show us revelations. And after a couple months living together, I know I just didn't want to be like shacking up, you know what I mean? I really wanted, to spend the rest of my life with this person. I wanted to prove it. So I started saving up for an engagement ring. I called her stepdad and asked for his blessing. I was so nervous. I never did anything like this before. Like seeing that like in like movies and stuff, or just in general, how the man's supposed to call the woman's dad and ask for the blessing. So I was nervous, but he was real chill about it. Like he said, "Yo, you're a cool dude, man. You prove you're intentional and everything. Yeah, you more than earn my blessing. Like I have no problem giving you my blessing." So
that's what Red said.
Yep, that's what he said. So you know how Red is, but yeah. He gave me his blessing like immediately. Like he didn't even have to think about it. I was so nervous. I gave this whole like minute-long speech about how I really care for Q and how much I love her and how there's a just story with her. I let him know I don't want to be shacking up or anything, and and I told him I was saving up for a ring, but I asked for her hand in marriage, and he said it was fine. So that was a good thing. For this one, I had to just keep my cool, pray that she didn't find out.
Well, do you like spoiling surprises, or you just?
I do. I just get excited.
You get excited.
It's just excitement. I don't like to talk about it. Yeah, see, like add suspense to it. I went to a jeweler shop by my job. Talked to them. I had never picked out an engagement ring before, so it was just an interesting experience. They were really helpful, and I ended up finding a ring and started saving up for it. And next thing you know, it was close to the time I was going to propose. So I wanted to propose before Christmas, but it just wasn't going to happen. So let's talk about January. So January came around, like January 1st, like New Year's, and I called her mom and told her, hey, I'm going to have the ring by this date, January 18th. And I was trying to get all these ideas on how I want to propose. And it's funny because I wanted to propose at her house, at our house, I'm sorry, where we live. And because I have the biggest fear just proposing in public, just in case she says no. And if I said no, it was going to be just the most embarrassing thing. It's been the fear I had since I was like a teenager, just proposing to someone, they say no. So I always wanted to just be the two of us. To be there, like, her mom, my family, and everything, which is understandable. They all want to, share the moment. But she thought her mom was mentioning doing it at like a restaurant or something, and I was like, no, I want to do it at our apartment. Like, y'all go to the apartment, but for an apartment, we had a little smaller apartment, so having a bunch of people in one apartment for a proposal isn't gonna be the most ideal thing. So I just have to face my fear and say, you know what, let's go to the restaurant and do it. And so the cover up for the event was gonna be her mom's friend's birthday party. And it technically was her birthday around that time, and we were just using her birthday party to cover up the proposal. And so family came in, flew in, and drove down to see us and everything. And the night before, I remember I was just so nervous, and I remember she went through my bag. She went through my bag to look for something, and my ring was in that bag. The whole engagement ring was in that bag. Luckily, she didn't see it, but it was just so weird that I thought it was a close call. I thought I was done for. I thought the whole thing was going to be ruined. Thank God she didn't see it, and
But let me add something, because this whole time, so really Tiffany's birthday was like a month and a half before the birthday gathering. So Jared was really excited about this birthday gathering for somebody he didn't know. And pretty much that's also what gave it away. He was just so excited, like he was counting down the days. And so I'm like, why is he counting down the days to my mom's friend's birthday dinner? And then he told me that his parents were also gonna come to my mom's friend's birthday dinner. So, and then my godmom flew in for dinner. So, I mean, now she flies in. She is super supportive. I love my godmom. But, yeah, so a lot of little things gave it away. The only thing that kind of made me say, well, maybe not, was because he kept saying to inspect the ring around summer. Or like April, summer, yeah. So that's kind of what made me say, well, maybe not. But a lot of the things were lining up to it being an engagement. So yeah, I mean, none of that took away from the moment.
Okay, so the day of the proposal comes, and we head to the restaurant. It's me, Q, and her godmom in the car. And I remember all day prior to that, my mom was texting me, blowing up my phone, saying, "Don't forget the ring. Don't forget the ring. Don't forget the ring."
She was? I didn't know that.
She was. Yes, she was. So I made sure I kept it in like my coat pocket. And sure enough, we get to the restaurant, and her godmom goes in first, just darts in. As soon as we park, she just gets out the car.
It's like she just vanished out the car.
And I guess I guess she's just reserving us a seat, reserving our our seat or whatever. And so Q and I go in, and of course we open the party door, and the signs, people holding up signs saying, "Will you marry me?" And it was a really magical moment. And I got on my knee. I didn't even say, I was so nervous that she was gonna say no. I didn't even ask, "Will you marry me?" I just got on my knee and did this with the ring, and I forgot to ask. And I do know.
So you never proposed?
I did. You said yes. Because the signs were there. The sign that said,
"Will you marry me?" I can do that. You did have
the
signs.
Yeah, so they had signs that said, "Will you marry me?" And so that was basically, she can read. She saw what it said. And she said yes. I was such a relief. She said yes, and
I couldn't believe it was happening It was very surreal.
Faithful. Really glad it went well. It went much smoother than I expected. And overall, it was really a magical experience. Like, I never had a moment like this before. Like, this is just a whole, getting engaged is just a whole different feeling. Like, man, I'm really about to marry this person who I plan on spending the rest of my life with. And it's just the happiest. When I wouldn't take that, you know, I wouldn't trade that moment in for the world. That's what I'm gonna say. I wouldn't trade it for anything. So after that night, literally the next morning, Q got into the process of wedding planning. It was just like so. It was cool, but it was just like, man, like we just got engaged. Like, why are we already planning a wedding when we just got engaged? But then I found out from like everybody that that's usually what happens.
Common,
It's really common to start wedding planning right after you engage.
Yeah.
But it is taxing. It could be really stressful at times, but like we said at the beginning of the video, if you guys are both intentional, this is what you want to do, what you signed up for, you know, and it's gonna be worth it in the end. Because I'm looking forward to marrying Q, looking forward to spending the rest of my life with her, looking forward to starting a family with her eventually. So, my advice to people watching this video who's God's timing is not everyone else's timing. So, but like on paper, like, you know, just to the average person, you know,
on paper,
getting engaged in 7 months, 7 months is like, you know, like, man, that's really quick. Like, you guys don't get a chance to like get to know each other, get to, you know, on paper. But, you know, me and Q were really intentional about it, and it worked. You know, we got engaged in 7 months, and no one's really saying anything. Everyone's on board. Everyone's supportive. Everyone is looking to see us as like their son-in-law, daughter-in-law, and brother, sister-in-law. It's family, you know. So now we're just wedding planning at this point. So
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it too. I'm enjoying the bride. Looking forward to marrying Q. I'm looking forward to the wedding. I'm looking forward to, you know, just coasting and spending the rest of my life with this wonderful lady, you know. And I thank God for her every day. So just like I said, advice, just go at your own pace. Don't, you know, we came across a couple other couples who you know, got engaged and got married at a faster rate than the average norm. So it can happen, you know, it is possible basically, you know, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it because everyone's love journey is different. You know, some people move at a faster or slower pace than others, but their love journey is their love journey, and everyone has their own story, and that's the beauty of everything. You know, no two love stories are the same. You know, it's really fascinating to see how people came together, how they found love.
Like all these things come together that have happened on our journey have felt like confirmation from God that this is a go. Like nothing felt like we were moving against the grain. It just felt natural. Was it a faster pace? Yes. But like I said, it didn't feel like we were rushing, like, let's do this. Because I feel like sometimes when you're rushing it or doing something that doesn't feel natural, like it's from God, it feels like you're trying to convince yourself of it, but it never felt like that. Everything just felt like, okay. So
yeah, that's basically our story on how we started dating and how we got our proposal story and how we got engaged. Thank y'all for watching. Stay tuned for more content. Have a blessed one, guys. But
this is hard.
Damn it, Q.
Well, for him, in the Gwinnett area. No, I'm gonna take that out. We figured it was a good idea.
4 or 5 months, I called her dad and stepdad, and listen, hold on, let me cook. So I called her. So I did go to the jeweler shop by my house. I went to
By your job.
By my job. I'm sorry. I went to a jeweler shop. She said no. That uppercut was coming from the corner. No, I'm joking. But nah, I've never been engaged before. You know. No, I haven't. But I never. I said no, I haven't.
Oh.
Also, I never
really enjoyed it.
I have to say this for the camera. But
my ring, ladies. We already got our wedding band, so I'm excited.
So